Welcome back! So, till now, we just developed the base of this project. Third-person camera, simple level, and the giant boulder sitting there. Now, in this video, we start building the actual game, the push mechanic, and before we write a single line, I want to tell you one thing, because this changes how we design the whole script. Right now, we have one movement system, camera-based. You press W. The player moves in the direction the camera is facing. That works perfectly for walking around, but think about this. The player walks up to the boulder and starts pushing. He presses W. The player moves in the direction the camera is looking, not toward the boulder, just wherever the camera points. So the player slides off sideways. The push breaks completely. That means we cannot use one movement for everything. We need two modes. Mode 1, free walking, camera controls the direction. Mode 2, push mode. Camera is ignored. Player locks onto the boulder and only goes forward. And we need a system that decides, which mode are we in right now? That is what this whole script is about. Let's build it. Open your script. We're starting from where we left off last time. First, let's add what we need. At the top, add a transform called boulder transform. This is just a reference to the boulder in our scene. We need to know where it is at all times. Next, add push force. This is the player's speed while pushing. Separate from the normal walk speed, because pushing a boulder, you move slower. Now, add a capsule collider reference called collider. Why? Because when the player leans into a push, his body shape changes. We'll reshape the collider so the physics actually matches the animation. Small detail, big difference. And finally, the most important variable in this whole script. This one bool is the switch. When it's true, push mode. When it's false, walk mode. Everything reacts to this. And also add these as well, we will use it later. Now, let's write the function that decides when is pushing becomes true. Push check logic and write these lines in this three conditions. All three must be true. Close enough. Is the player within 2.36 units of the boulder? If he's too far away, not pushing, facing boulder, is the player actually facing it? This is the dot product line. Don't worry too much about the math here. All it does is compare two directions and gives a number. 1 means perfectly aligned. 0 means sideways. -1 means facing away. We check if that number is above our threshold, meaning the player is roughly pointing at the boulder. Forward input. Is the player pressing W? If he's just standing next to the boulder doing nothing, he shouldn't be pushing. All three true is pushing equals true. Simple gate. Now let's write what actually happens when we're in push mode. First part, movement. We only take the vertical input. Math f.clamp. 0, 1, make sure it's only 0 or positive. No moving backward in push mode. We push along, transform, dot forward, the player's own forward, not the camera's. Second part, rotation. Every frame, we calculate the direction from the player to the boulder, and we smoothly rotate the player to face it. So even if the boulder drifts slightly sideways, the player turns naturally to stay behind it. No camera, no strafing, pure forward push. Now let's connect everything. In update, find your existing if/else block and replace it with this when is pushing is true. Speed drops to push force, animator triggers push animation, and the collider reshapes to the leaning forward stance. When it's false, everything resets. Normal collider, normal speed, push animation off. Now in fixed update, this is the switcher. This is where the two modes get separated. Every physics frame, first we check the three conditions. Then based on his pushing, we run either push movement or camera movement. never both. Last thing. Add this function. This is simple. Our player is going to be walking up a hill. On a slope, the rigid body can drift, float slightly above the surface, or clip into it. This function shoots a ray straight down from the player's feet every frame. It finds where the ground actually is. Then it adjusts the player's vertical velocity to match that height, continuously, invisibly. Just make sure you set the ground layer in the inspector to whatever layer your terrain is on. That's the only setup. That's it. Save the script. Go to your player in the inspector. Assign the boulder transform, the capsule collider, the camera. Set your ground layer. Hit play. Walk up to the boulder, face it, press W, push mode, activates, step back, camera walk returns. In the next video, we add Q and E steering, sideways force on the boulder, and the slope system that controls how much force you actually get, depending on the hill. If you want to get these project files, please check out the Patreon. See you there.